Right, this post is about trees, and it's a challenge. If you go out for a walk over the Christmas period, I'll try and post this afternoon, today being the 22nd of December 2023. Have a look at the trees you go past. Because a tree isn't a tree isn't a tree isn't a tree. This is an oak tree. Obviously there's lots of other tree species around. This is a blackthorn. This is a hazel, these catkins. But trees have different forms. Hazel tends to be multi-trunk naturally. If you cut it to the ground, it grows back as a coppice stalk. Blackthorn tends to be a maiden when it starts off, when it's young. Maiden is a single trunked tree, it's never been cut. But it suckers. So this bit here may well be linked to that bit there. Suckering is basically growing up from the root system and putting new shoots up. If we look at this oak tree here, you can see that it's probably not a maiden. You can get into this without the wind noise. So this has sometimes been cut as part of a hedge, like this hazel's been done, see? That's cut at about chest height. And you can see this line here where it has been cut. Then it's regrown over that level. And this has been cut horizontal as kept going, and it's basically grown up vertically, and it's probably been cut off, and this has grown back since it was cut. So this is a big tree. And over next to it, there's a little tree. See, that's an oak. This one's got the leaves still on. And it's an English oak, but it's a little tree, yeah? So it ain't very old. I disagree. I think this is a very old tree indeed. Let's go and have a closer look. You can see this branch to it. Branch scar here. You can see where it's been cut at about this same height, and this has been cut. And there's been a stem in the middle which has vanished, leaving the stem either side still alive. And onto its right, you've got this thing here, look. This is oak too. You can tell it's oak because you've got some bark left. And oak tends to form this sort of spiky pattern where the sapwood gradually disappears. So it could well be that this part of the same tree, because this goes that way and this goes that way. But if you look down on it from above, you can see that there's a last remnant of a big stump here, which has also been cut to the ground and it's regrown. So this tree is much, much older than it would appear. Let's get out. Oh, excuse the wobbly camera. So you've got that tree and that tree. There's more oldish trees down there. There's field maples. There's also a line of elm suckers. And then you've got this monster on the corner here by this field entrance. This is an ash. Again, cut time and time and time again as part of the hedge. And you see it goes from there, 2 meters to there. And this is an old coppice stalk. Over there, where we're going to go in a minute, there are more big old oaks, and this line from here down through to there is the old road from a very old settlement called Beer Regis to another settlement you just see over there, it's where I live, called Wool. Nothing to do with sheep, it's to do with good quality water, the name, and that name dates back to Anglo-Saxon times. So we're going to stop this segment by looking at this tree here. And this is a fairly young, scrub-grown maiden oak. You can tell by the single trunk and the shock of branches growing off the top of it. Right, this one's an oak, fairly young, open grown, never been cut. And you can see that it's that sort of diameter. So not a very old tree, nothing very special. We compare it with this one, this ash, which we're going to go and have a look at in a minute. And they're completely different. See how the shape of this one's different, even from a distance. Let's wait for the traffic and then we'll cross the road and have a closer look. Right, this is that same ash. And if we walk up to it, we can see that this again is very old. See the root going through between the two, joining them up together. So that tree, he cut it around hedge height many times. Here's an old branch scar, probably healing over from when it was last cut. That's my hand. I've got fairly small hands for a bloke, but you can tell this is quite big. And that goes through the back there. See this stump with a single small branch coming out of it. This is all part of the same thing. Scars on this side. As every so often somebody overdoes it coming around this corner and then mashes into here. You can tell by all the bits of car and stuff lying in the road here. But if you look at this, this goes a long way. So this is a branch which has grown out. It may have been laid deliberately. And that goes probably a dozen feet, putting up these trunks every so often with branch scars. So this is a big tree. Well, I think it's an even bigger tree than we've made out. It's very possible that this big old hulk as well, which must be 5 or 6 metres around the base, with all these branch scars, rot hollows in it. It's part of the same tree as this one. Let's go and look at it from the other side. So I think we can get through this hole in the hedge without getting prickled to death. There's deer going in through here. You can see the little sharp slots. And there's some deer hair. And if we look at him from this side, see the horizontal branches. Let's go back without falling arse over tit. More deer sign. I think all this is one tree. If it's not one tree, it's two. So have a look at trees when you go out for your Christmas walk, or any other walk. You can just walk right past, especially in the winter, where the leaves are off. You can actually see the structure of what you're looking at, what you're walking past, or even driving past. Don't spend too much time gawping at what's around you if you're actually driving, but if you're a passenger, and have a look at the world around you. Don't look at your phone all the time or playing your Nintendo or whatever people do in cars these days. You can tell I'm an old git. Have a look at the world around you. See what's there, because you might be surprised. I'm going to wander up this hedge line and I'll scrabbled into this field and see what else I can find. Hope that was useful and interesting.